It's tough to change when you want to keep doing things the same way. That's why, in this video, I'll share some practical quotes from Stoic philosophy that can help transform the way we think. The real power of change is never in the environment we live in, the situations we face, or how much money we make, but in our ability to renew our thoughts and actions. This is a straightforward and practical video. So, if you can, take these insights out of the virtual world and put them into action in your life. Take notes, share the quotes that resonate with you the most, and apply them in your everyday life. I'm sure you'll see a real change happen. Now, let's get started. First quote: "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was one of the greatest rulers in history, having ruled the Roman Empire from 161 to 180 AD. Even though he was one of the most powerful figures of his time, he didn't rule just with force or authority. He also used reason, logic, and, of course, Stoic philosophy, which helped him become one of the most respected and admired emperors for his leadership and character. The beauty of Marcus Aurelius's legacy lies in the fact that he didn't keep all his wisdom to himself. He recorded his reflections and lessons in Meditations, a personal journal he never expected to be published. The book offers a simple and honest look into the mind of a leader who sought to live according to virtue, even with immense responsibilities and challenges. Centuries after his death, his words continue to inspire people around the world, showing that his thoughts are still highly relevant. One of the most powerful lessons Marcus Aurelius left us is in this quote: "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It carries a simple yet profound truth. We should focus only on what we can control. Unfortunately, many people do exactly the opposite. They spend a lot of time and energy worrying about external factors, things that are completely out of their control. They get caught up in discussions about politics, the economy, climate issues, the actions of others around them, or even the lives of others online. All of this is a huge distraction, stealing our inner peace and preventing us from focusing on what really matters. In contrast, people who manage to make significant changes in the world have one thing in common. They choose to focus on what they can control, such as their own thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors. When you direct your attention to what's truly within your reach, you gain power and control over your life. This makes you a stronger, more resilient person, capable of facing any challenge that comes your way. On the other hand, when you spend your energy trying to control things you can't change, you lose that power. This kind of behavior often leaves people bitter, constantly complaining about everything, and without realizing it, they fall into the trap of hopelessness. The result is that progress simply stops. For example, if you're facing financial difficulties, it might seem reasonable to blame the economy, your boss, or even the government for your situation. But in the end, these attitudes won't change anything. What can truly transform your life is focusing on the actions you can take, such as learning new skills, looking for a better job opportunity, starting to sell something, or even managing your spending habits better. Don't get me wrong, it's true that the economy might be tough, that prices are rising, that your boss might not be the best, and that politics often disappoints us. But spending time complaining about all of this is a waste of energy. It's like trying to push a mountain with your bare hands, a futile effort that only drains your motivation and prevents you from growing. So, don't use these difficulties as excuses to stay stuck in mediocrity. Instead, look for solutions. If you want real change in your life, it's far more productive to dedicate your attention, energy, and time to what's within your control. The only thing you can truly control is how you respond to situations and how you act in them. When this transformation begins inside your mind, everything around you starts to change too. Your actions will produce results, and those results will bring the changes you desire. Otherwise, you'll find yourself stuck in a cycle of frustration, waiting for things to change on their own, without doing anything to change your own attitude. And believe me, that day will never come. True change requires effort, and we must fight against our own flaws and weaknesses, always seeking to improve our character and actions. The lesson from Marcus Aurelius is not just a philosophical reflection, but a practical lesson that can be applied to our daily lives. The power you have over your mind is in your hands. Use it wisely to act, change, and grow continuously. Second quote: "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Marcus Aurelius. Interestingly, Most people do exactly the opposite. They are harsh when judging others, but overly lenient with their own flaws. It's as if they become experts in others' lives while their own lives remain disorganized and directionless. Think about it for a moment. Imagine a problem arises within your family, and suddenly the WhatsApp group is filled with messages suggesting how to fix everything. Or maybe something happens in the life of a celebrity, and just like that, everyone becomes a counselor, telling them what they should or shouldn't do. How many times do we spend more time analyzing others' flaws and mistakes than reflecting on our own? Marcus Aurelius warned us about this, stating that it's pointless to worry about others' mistakes because they will always happen. The most important thing is to focus on avoiding our own. You don't have to stop caring about what happens in your family, nor stop following the life of a celebrity or influencer. Curiosity about the world around you is natural. The problem arises when we spend more time observing and judging others than investing time and energy into our own development. Without realizing it, by doing this, you end up prioritizing others' lives while ignoring the essential aspects of your own. When you spend hours trying to understand and solve other people's problems, you miss the opportunity to look inward and reflect on what you can improve in yourself. Change begins when you decide to tidy up your own house before worrying about the neighbors. This means living according to your own values, acting in line with your beliefs, not because you expect others to do the same, but because it's the right thing to do. Accepting that others' behavior is out of your control is liberating. Insisting on changing what's beyond your control only leads to frustration. More importantly, you lose something more precious: your time. As long as you spend too much energy worrying about other people's lives, you'll be wasting moments that could be used to transform your own life. Learn to lead by example, practicing good habits that inspire those around you. This will have much more value than any criticism or judgment about others. Remember what was said in a biblical passage: why worry about the speck in your brother's eye when there's a beam in your own? Practicing this can be hard, but it's the path to a more peaceful and balanced life. Focus on what you can control: yourself. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Marcus Aurelius. As far as we know, this is the only life we have. There is no rehearsal, no option to hit restart. We're here now. That's why Marcus Aurelius's words make so much sense. Don't live as if you were going to live forever. Death is always near. While you're alive, while you have the power, be good now. Life is far too short to be wasted on a job that doesn't fulfill you, in an environment that doesn't respect you, or with people who might not even remember your name. Life is too brief to be spent staring at screens while the real world happens right in front of you. It's too short to live with a heart full of grudges, anger, or discouragement. Life is far too short to be shared with people who don't recognize your worth or treat you with respect. You don't know how much time you have left, and that's what makes everything so precious. Every moment matters. So live grandly. Explore the world, even if it begins at the park on your corner. Build something that makes you proud. If you have a dream, take the first step, whether it's starting a business, traveling, or learning something new. Stop for a moment. Observe a tree. Feel the wind on your skin. Enjoy the sunrise. Connect with nature around you and with the people in your life. Spread good energy, because the impact you have on others is a direct reflection of how you live your own life. If you were to ask someone who received a terminal cancer diagnosis what really matters, it's likely their answer would be, value life, every minute of it. As Martin Luther King once said, it's not how long you live, but how well you live. We fear death, but how many times do we fear that, at the end of our lives, we'll look back and realize we never truly lived? So, starting today, take control of your emotions, organize your life, and commit to truly living, not just today, but every day. Don't let little things steal your peace. Keep your spirit calm, your mind at ease, and live every minute with purpose and dignity. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone you know who also needs this message. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you won't miss future content. Marcus Aurelius taught us that it is better not to give small things more time than they deserve. However, many of us still fall into the trap of getting consumed by minor issues that have little impact. It could be the noise from a neighbor that disturbs our peace, a negative comment that affects our mood, or a small worry that seems to take over our day at work. When we allow these little annoyances to grab our attention, we lose the ability to focus on what really matters, spending more time on external circumstances than on what truly deserves our energy and care. In William Golding's Lord of the Flies, a group of British children stranded on a deserted island must organize themselves to survive. At first, their priority was to keep the fire going, which represented their only chance of being rescued. However, over time, internal conflicts and struggles for survival diverted their attention from the larger goal. When they finally spotted a ship in the distance, the fire had gone out, meaning the opportunity for rescue had been lost. This story is a reflection of what happens in our own lives. Often we get so caught up in the details of daily life, small problems and distractions, that we forget to keep our fire burning, our true purpose. Each of us has something important that guides our actions and choices, something that gives our lives meaning. Therefore, it's crucial that we clearly define our main goal so we can focus our attention on it and not get lost in unnecessary details. Let's imagine a tree. It grows strong because it pulls the necessary nutrients from the soil and absorbs the energy from the sun. However, it doesn't move from its place because the wind is strong or because birds are singing around it. The tree stays rooted, focused on its purpose, no matter the distractions. Like the tree, we need to learn to stay firm in what really matters. When we know what we want and what our purpose is, distractions become insignificant, and we can move forward with more focus and determination. To do this, it's necessary to return to the essentials. What is truly important to you? Maybe it's taking better care of your health, paying attention to both your body and mind. Or perhaps it's creating a peaceful environment around you, nurturing meaningful relationships, and being more present for the people you love. For others, the purpose could be accomplishing something that brings true happiness, such as building a fulfilling career or pursuing a passion that enriches life. Whatever your goal is, the key is not to lose sight of what truly matters. So why keep getting upset over small things that don't have value? Why waste your time on a rainy day, a comment from a stranger online, or someone who cut you off in traffic? These situations shouldn't dominate your thoughts and time. As Goethe wisely said, the things that matter most should never be at the mercy of the things that matter least. Keep this in mind and always try to refocus on what's essential. Now, let's reflect on a second quote by Marcus Aurelius. As are your habitual thoughts, so is the character of your mind, for the soul is affected by thoughts. Our thoughts have a profound impact on our actions, and consequently on who we are. When we begin to reflect on our life and our choices, we realize that real change starts at the root, in how we think. It is impossible to transform our lives without first changing the way we communicate with ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius himself said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. One of the most effective ways to change our thoughts is through meditation. Meditating isn't just about sitting in silence. It's about training our minds to observe the thoughts that arise and, with patience, redirect them. It's like doing mental exercises, strengthening positive thoughts while weakening the negative ones. Regular practice helps create a clearer, more focused mind, capable of making more conscious decisions. Here's a quick exercise to help you reflect on your thoughts. Think of 3 thoughts you had throughout the day. They might have come up because of something in your life, something you saw on social media, or something at work. Now assess those thoughts. How did they make you feel? Were they thoughts that lifted you up, or ones that brought you down? Rate each one from 0 to 10. If most of your thoughts score low, it might be time to rethink how you've been managing your mind and emotions. The good news is that by changing the quality of our thoughts, we can transform our entire life. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, small adjustments in our thinking can lead to significant changes. The key lies in the constant renewal of our thoughts. By improving our inner dialogue, we can change the course of our life, aligning it more with our values and goals. So, if you're looking for real change, start with something simple. Take care of your thoughts. Small changes in the way you talk to yourself can have a big impact on your life. The habit of keeping your mind focused on the positive and working to remove negative thoughts could be the key to a happier, more balanced, and fulfilling life. 6th quote. Remember, the past and the future have no power over you, only the present. And even that can be controlled if you know how to set limits. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics understood something very wise. Living in regret about the past or worrying about what may or may not happen in the future is a way to lose control over your own life. It's like driving a car while only looking in the rearview mirror or through a dirty window. You won't get anywhere. The past is gone, and it can't be changed, and the future hasn't come yet. The only moment we really have is the present. To make the most of it, it's essential to focus and concentrate on what's right in front of us. Don't let past mistakes stop you from moving forward, nor let the uncertainties of tomorrow hold you back. Even the toughest problems can be faced and solved one step at a time. Often, we spend too much energy imagining the big day or getting lost in thoughts about what might or might not happen. However, the important thing is to focus on the present, because it's in the present that you can act and make a difference. When you notice your mind drifting to the past or future, just calmly and firmly tell yourself, "Enough, I am stronger than this. I will focus on what's in front of me." That's enough to bring your attention back to the present. Marcus Aurelius used this practice as a way to fight anxiety, knowing that the only real control we have is over the present moment. Stoic philosophy offers a simple but powerful formula for handling life's challenges by keeping focus on what matters and taking steps to move forward. Seventh quote, "Make it a habit to pay close attention to what someone else is saying and to get as deep as possible into the other person's mind." Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics teach us that listening is more important than talking. But it's not just about hearing with your ears. You need to listen with your mind and heart, really trying to understand what the other person is trying to communicate. This not only shows respect, but also values the other person's opinion and experience. The goal is to listen to understand, not just to reply. This is the principle of empathetic listening. Listening to connect. This simple habit has the power to completely transform our relationships. However, the hard part is controlling the urge to interrupt or jump in with your own thoughts right away. Often we feel the need to respond, add something, or even change the topic, but this rush can interfere with communication. Marcus Aurelius warns us about this tendency. Listen carefully to what's being said and watch every impulse carefully. He challenges us to question what the other person is really trying to express. Truly, listening goes beyond words. It involves noticing the emotions and intentions behind every sentence, every pause, and even the tone of voice. When we give this space to others, creating an environment of attention and respect, a real connection forms between people. So, be the person who listens more than they talk. When it's your turn to speak, let your words be like a compass, direct, clear, and full of purpose. In this way, you create an environment where everyone feels valued, even without saying it out loud. This behavior improves your listening, enriches your conversations, and strengthens your bonds with others. If you've ever spoken more than listened in a conversation, share your experience in the comments. And from now on, try to practice active listening, because as Zeno said, it's better to stumble with your feet than with your tongue. Eighth quote, "When you get up, remember, today you will meet busybodies, ungrateful, self-centered, lying, jealous, and eccentric people. They act like this because they don't know the difference between good and bad." Marcus Aurelius. For the Stoics, one of the most useful practices is to dedicate some time each day for reflection, to look within and adjust our course, especially in the morning and at night. Epictetus teaches us to reflect on how to start the day, preparing ourselves mentally for challenges, and also to review our actions at the end of the day. When you wake up, take a moment and ask yourself, what still holds me back from negative emotions? What do I really need to find peace? Who am I? The answer, according to the Stoics, is simple. We are rational beings, capable of acting with wisdom, even in tough times. These few minutes of morning reflection aren't just for starting the day right, but also to reaffirm our commitment to personal growth, our values, and our goals. Marcus Aurelius suggests that every morning you remember the precious privilege of being alive, breathing, thinking, loving, and learning. With this perspective, even the toughest challenges become opportunities to grow and be better than we were yesterday. Ninth quote, "Remember this when anger starts to rise. There's no value in getting upset. Kindness and calmness are more human and valuable. A truly strong person doesn't give in to rage or dissatisfaction, but shows courage, resilience, and composure. The calmer the mind, the stronger the spirit." Marcus Aurelius. Anger is like an uncontrollable fire. The more you feed it, the more it destroys, even you. For the Stoics, anger is compared to holding a hot coal. You end up hurting yourself. Seneca described anger as temporary madness, because by giving into it, we lose control, ignore logic, and become blind to the truth. Imagine a stone falling to the ground. It breaks, but no one else is harmed. Anger works the same way. The person who suffers the most is the one carrying it. Seneca also said that no other affliction has caused more harm to humanity than anger. Therefore, the best strategy is to stop anger right at the start, before it has the chance to grow. Stoic practice suggests that serenity and calmness are far more powerful and human qualities than anger. Truly strong people don't waste time giving in to despair or anger. They show courage, resilience, and composure, qualities that strengthen both the mind and the spirit. The calmer your mind, the stronger your ability to face life's challenges. In conflict situations, instead of being swept away by anger, take a deep breath, stay calm, and choose your words wisely. True strength lies in staying serene, not in being consumed by emotional outbursts. How to do this? First, it's crucial to understand that anger is not something that happens inevitably. While the initial reaction is automatic, like feeling your heart race or your face heat up, we have the power to decide what happens next. Anger is not a fact that must settle in, but rather a choice we make. It appears when we decide we are right or that it's fair to be angry in certain situations. Seneca challenges us. What's the point in letting anger consume us when we can use reason to resolve situations much more effectively? Imagine you're stuck in traffic and someone gets too close to your car. Your first reaction might be to shout or even honk aggressively. But what if instead you pause for a moment, breathe deeply, and think, maybe this person is in a hurry or distracted. Maybe they didn't even notice what they did. This brief moment of pause completely changes anger into something unnecessary. Reason works like a calm and thoughtful friend, always looking for the best solution. Anger, on the other hand, acts like an impulsive and rash individual, seeking revenge. As Seneca said, no one becomes braver through anger, except those who would never have been brave without it. In other words, anger only seems useful to those who have not yet learned to act more wisely. The Stoics teach us to replace anger with higher values, such as empathy and fairness. When we act calmly, showing understanding toward others, we can disarm even the most hostile person. This is not a sign of weakness, but of true strength, strength that comes from self-sufficiency and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the closer we are to serenity, the stronger we become. Often, the things that irritate us are small and fleeting. For example, if someone spills coffee on your shirt or says something that bothers you, anger may last for hours, but the issue that caused it probably only lasted a few seconds. When we remember that everything is temporary, we can lessen the importance of annoyances. Epictetus offers a valuable tip. Observe the situation clearly and objectively. When someone does something that irritates you, ask yourself, does this really matter, or is it my perception of what happened that's making me upset? This detachment helps you realize that it's not the event itself that harms us, but how we choose to react to it. In the end, anger is like poison we drink, hoping the other person will suffer the consequences. Serenity, on the other hand, is like a remedy that heals and strengthens. So, choose calmness as your ally. It's the key to building lasting relationships and staying strong in the face of challenges. As Marcus Aurelius said, serenity is the greatest sign of strength. 10th, quote, on mornings when you find it hard to get out of bed, remember this thought. Today, I'm waking up to do the work a human was made to do. Why am I upset about doing what I was created for, what I came into this world for? Or was I made to stay under the covers searching for comfort? This is so pleasant. So, was I made for pleasure or for effort? Marcus Aurelius. Even Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher and emperor, had his struggles getting out of bed in the morning. Yes, he procrastinated, just like anyone else. He wasn't always highly motivated or ready to act. However, there was a difference. He did what needed to be done, even when he didn't feel like it. He didn't let internal resistance stop him from moving forward. Think about it. If an ant can carry a load much bigger than itself without complaining or stopping, why do we as humans who are so capable often prefer to delay or complain about our responsibilities? An ant doesn't question its purpose, it simply acts. We, with all our intelligence, often become experts at making excuses to avoid doing what we need to. Marcus Aurelius taught that we are not born for pleasure. At first glance, this idea might seem harsh, but if we think about it, it makes sense. Trees don't stop growing because they're tired. Birds don't stop building their nests because they prefer to sleep a bit more. Bees work nonstop, making honey tirelessly. All of nature seems to be driven by continuous action, not hesitation or procrastination. We, humans, often choose the easier path, delaying, procrastinating, or seeking instant comfort. Who hasn't preferred to spend hours on the couch watching TV instead of going for a walk or tackling a difficult task? This happens because our inner resistance is strong. However, it's exactly this resistance that we need to learn to overcome. Seneca reminds us clearly, delaying is the greatest waste of life. Every day we don't live steals our present, promising us an uncertain future. Expectation traps us in tomorrow and stops us from living today. The future is uncertain and unpredictable. The only thing we can truly control is the now. Each time we choose to wait for the perfect moment, we are wasting the present. Even if we don't have motivation or energy, we can take small steps. Imagine a farmer planting a seed today. He won't see the fruits tomorrow, but he knows that every action counts to have a harvest in the future. Similarly, in life, doing what needs to be done today, even without desire, is what creates the conditions for a more fulfilling and satisfying future. By choosing to act now, we are building the foundation for a more productive tomorrow. We don't need to wait for the perfect moment because the perfect moment is the present, and that's where we need to make the most of it. Life doesn't wait, and the only way to move forward is to take the first step, even if we don't have all the energy or motivation we wish we had. Self-discipline is the key. It's like working out. At first, it may seem tough, but over time, you'll realize that all that effort paid off for every second spent. Discipline is the exercise that strengthens our life. It helps us say no to what doesn't serve us and yes to what pushes us to grow. Self-discipline is what makes us capable of beating laziness and taking action, even when it feels hard. You have enough strength to get up, even when you're exhausted. You have enough discipline to reject what isn't good for you, even if it's tempting. And you have enough courage to be better now, not tomorrow. By doing this, you become the captain of your own journey, the master of your future. Living is acting, so no excuses. See today as an opportunity and do what needs to be done. Live now. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment if you've made it this far. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.